Hello, everybody, and welcome to Apocalypse Prevention Agency. I am Lillian, and today I'm going to be talking about why gender bending characters is less fun than I thought it would be. Saberspark, I think that's is a movie and TV show reviewer on YouTube, and the other day he posted a Genderbend episode in which a female Saberspark discussed episodes of a couple TV shows which used the Genderbend plot. This got me excited about the idea of drawing gender-bent versions of my own characters because I'm always looking for novel things to draw and new and interesting things to do with them. I actually already attempted this a couple years back, but my drawing skills have improved a lot since then, so I thought it'd be definitely worth giving it another try. So the other day I started on my designs, beginning with Eddie because, okay, yeah, he's my favorite, I admit it. In some respects, the design was pretty simple. I can keep the color scheme the same, but just make sure the guys look like girls and the girls look like guys. Eddie has his brown blonde hair thing and his signature green color steal, and Helena keeps her orange turtleneck. Phil can keep his black hoodie. Lana can keep the blue singlet. Things got more difficult though, especially with Madeline and Cordelia. Madeline wears blouses and vests and skirts and stockings and awesome black boots, and it's a very preppy aesthetic, but a feminine preppy, and it's kind of hard to try to find the equivalent masculine preppy and still have it feel like the same character. So I tried to do things a bit better for Cordelia, so I really stuck with the blue flowers that are usually part of her look. And then I realized I looked really stupid as a jacket and a top hat. I feel like I just messed up drawing it. I might have looked good if I had just drawn it better, but I guess I was getting a bit worn out by then. I was actually most happy with Kane and Alden because I felt I managed to do something quite different with them while still keeping the aesthetic the same and maybe even improving on the aesthetic of the original. I like the olive green jacket that sort of keeps with Kane's adventure-y, outdoorsy, free-spirited vibe. Well, and it's a change on his usual just dark blue colored t-shirt that I usually draw him with, and then there's the grey shirt that Fem Alden is wearing, and I feel like it's a bit nicer than his usual just grey v-neck. Usually it's a bit of a plain outfit, but it gets a bit more fancy. I feel like it would be cool, tucked in some cargo pants or something. That would be nice, a nice vibe. So I suppose I had a problem with it seemed like they changed too much to still be them, or they didn't change enough to be particularly interesting. And in fact, by giving male Lana the same short haircut and parting I'd give regular Edmund, she could just have easily been colored to be regular Edmund. The way I make each character look different relies a lot on hairstyle and fashion choice and color scheme. That's why I've given most of them a standard look, so they tend to stick with the same clothes and the same hairstyles and everything. Because basically, I do have same face syndrome. And a lot of what I've been trying to do lately in terms of faces is focus on expression. And I've been trying to convey particular expressions: happy, sad, angry, surprised, shocked, scared, nervous. I've been told a few times for one drawing or another that my character's facial expressions don't match the events happening around them, and it's really infuriating. It's like I'm trying to give them the expression, it's just not working. It's just harder than you think to get the right expression. You can draw their eyebrows 10 miles above their eyes and their mouths gaping to the center of the earth, and they'll still look like they have a neutral expression. You got to do some research and so much trial and error, and then you completely ruin their eyes or whatever, and they look stupid. All this means I'm prioritizing expression over giving them each unique facial features, and I'd rather keep the feature as simple as possible if it's easy to convey expression. I also don't like the boundary of having to be consistent, always have them have the same face, because then they'll just look the same in every single drawing. my face actually changes a lot because sometimes I want to go quite detailed with the eyes and things, and other times I'll be like, no. And most of the time I'm not too detailed with the nose and the mouth, but sometimes I will try and be a bit more ambitious with those. It really depends on how much detail I feel like will work for that particular scene. So often I even try to give my characters signature expressions, like the way that they show that expression is more particular to them. Like, not that I can do a very good job of it, but I usually try to make Eddie look a bit more devious or confident, or like step away from doing something crazy, or sometimes just kind of depressed. And an introvert gang, which is Alden, Phil, and Helena, they tend to always a bit more shy or awkward, and then Cordelia try and make it look like she's just constantly planning on taking over the world because that's her whole vibe. But it's sort of hard to keep up with that signature expression as well, especially like that's I guess the main problem with the gender bend thing, getting that signature expression and switching the gender and then still trying to make that expression look like it's them, and then I can't even do the signature expression thing anyway, and it's so much harder when like you've got that different face shape, like pointed chin versus like a more rounded face or whatever, like the masculine sharp jawlines versus more feminine faces, and suddenly your expression looks different than it would otherwise. Okay. And I guess another huge thing is identity. I never really think about the importance of gender to the identity of the character on the whole, but it is really quite relevant because a lot of their interests and feelings and basically their personality, like you use gender as a point of reference. Like Lana plays tennis, she's a bit on the tough side, which is more interesting because it'll be generally be considered less feminine. And when she's a guy, those traits are what is closer to normal about her. And Eddie's a bit more emotional, he's into musical theatre, he's got traits and interests a bit more taboo for guys, which are a bit more standard if a little niche for girls. And even with the breakdown of gender norms, there's still a lot of things that are considered particularly masculine or feminine. Like society's trying to move towards this thing where, oh, gender doesn't matter, but there's still like things that persist, perceptions that persist. So when everything's flipped, now it's Eddie's more rebellious behavior and interest in arson and being destructive that's out of place, or his femme version, because those are things more expected of males. Like, oh yeah, oh, males love vandalizing things, but you don't really hear as much about females vandalizing things. Oh, and then there's Lana's purple hair, and I've kept it up in the male design because I guess that seems to be something that gives her some uniqueness, and that like kind of makes it even more unique, I guess, because the purples and girls. Well, no, you get what I'm saying. I mean, I don't necessarily mean, but it's like sort of makes the male more feminine than it would stand out on a girl, is basically what I'm trying to say. And so it's basically a complete reversal of what is striking and what is average about their personality, and it's a pretty drastic change, and change is not fun because you're so used to the characters as how they are, and you get attached to them, and they've been like this for so long, and then it's basically like they've done a 180 on their identity. So even joking about it feels kind of like a betrayal to who they are. So while we're here, we'll just talk about names because I feel like the names would end up being really stupid. Like, would Edmund be Edna? Because that's dumb. And would Kane be like Candace? I mean, Phil being Philippa is like very simple and is quite good. And then Cordelia could just be Corey, but that's already a son's name. And then that brings it a whole other problem of things of like, how the heck would it work with their kids that they end up having with the gender bands? Like, presumably those would also all be gender bent, but then that also means that everyone who was a mother now is now a father, and everyone who was a father is now a mother, and then that's super weird trying to work out how that would work out plot wise, and that's a huge mess. So yeah, that's basically it. I think I've covered everything there. That's what I wanted to talk about. Like, and it's so disappointing as well because I thought this would be a fun experiment to do something different, and like I am kind of happy on the whole with my result, but maybe I should have tried to do something a bit more exciting than just portraits. Like maybe write down a full scene, like it would feel a bit more exciting. But yeah, just all these different little problems I had with it. It was just like, I guess, made it all a bit harder to enjoy it than I thought it would be because I kind of, you just don't really think about those things until you get into it, and then you're like, no, I'm destroying their identity. No, I can't think of any good clothes for them to wear. Now they're boring. Why? And so, thanks everybody for listening. I hope you enjoy this. If you want to see more of my drawings, check out my social media. It's in the description, and I hope to see you next time. Thanks for watching.